Hey, free spirits, Wendy and Dave here, and puppy Abby's right here afoot, so we're kind of watching her. She wants to play ball. It's been a little while since we've actually been able to camp at all. Between the weather and humidity and raining and Dave's schedule, it's been weeks since we've been able to be out here and do really much of anything. So we're so excited. We're hoping to have at least a nice enough weekend this weekend to camp out. So one of the reasons why we wanted to do this video was because there was a question about the updating about the CADAC stove and a couple of other things that we've been using for a little while and wanted to give you guys an update on. So since we love French press, we were getting ready to make some French press, but we wanted to tell you a little bit about the stove and why we're doing and using what we're using. So you want to switch around the camera, or do you want to just kind of...
Well, I will say that...
Because now you can't touch it, it's hot.
while we so far like the stove a lot, there's a couple little things that are horrible. And one of them is...
That's a strong word, but okay.
Well, one of them is there's a little metal disc that you put on top of the burner to use to make coffee, small little pots, stuff like that.
Oh, do you have it out?
And I don't know where it is, but...
We've showed it in another video.
It's pretty much useless because, as I think we showed before, it's bent and distorted just from the heat on the lowest setting.
The first time we ever used it,
I straightened it out pretty close to straight, used it again, did the same exact thing right away, and so we needed to find a solution for that. And the other issue that we have is, even on the lowest setting, you could control it very well between low and high, but the lowest setting is still too high to cook most things.
It just really burned a lot of things.
So I'll show you, we found an apparatus, pretty inexpensive, and I'll include a link.
And we've used different things. I just wanted to mention.
Okay, we've not used this one.
No, what I was going to say was, when we say about the adjustment of the heat and the pots and pans, we've used a variety of different pots and pans and still found that even on the lowest setting, it was too hot. Now, what I haven't tried, which I don't use, is a cast iron skillet. So maybe for a cast iron skillet, it might be okay, if that's what you're using.
So it works, but it's hotter than we would like it to be. For chicken and, I mean, even burgers, it'll cook the burgers really pretty quick.
Very quick. The chicken cooked too quickly. It was like...
so you could play with it and all that, but we wanted to... We looked for a solution, and we found a ceramic diffuser.
Here, we'll show you, actually.
Which fits on top of the burners. It's not floppy all over. It's got little grooves that happen to match this particular stove. So it's pretty sturdy on there, and we're going to try it now for the first time. I didn't want to make a video without being able to tell you we've tried it and this works.
Yeah. So I just wanted to show it to you. Oh, here, let me just switch the camera. Okay, here we go.
So we've had it on for a couple minutes on the lowest setting.
So this is the ceramic that we bought. It's actually already hot, otherwise I would pick it up. It's pretty heavy. One of the things I wanted to say also about this stove was, and maybe we'll have to do a little close-up zoom in over here, but I don't know, this inside of here looks like, it was like, I don't know, maybe it's like a little off, just a little bit.
The use of the stove caused some of the surfaces, as would any, outdoory kind of thing, especially, but they discolored right away. So this has almost no use. This is not on, but you could see it's already, whatever the aluminum looking coating is already,
and I got to get at a weird angle to be able to show you guys this, but it's kind of a little bit crooked, and the burner itself is set crooked. And I wanted to say something too that I noticed about some of the other stoves, camp stoves, that is a little bit different with this one, which actually I'm still not really sure if I like it or don't like it, but the burners themselves, the grates, they're very, very light, first of all, which is okay, and the stove's pretty easy to clean, But what I found that I kind of miss is having one big long grate to go all the way across.
So you can't,
sorry, puppies.
You can't slide a pot
Puppies.
from one side to the other. You can pick it up and move it,
Yeah.
but you can't slide it.
And I'm not really comfortable with it, and it's a little bit wonky. Now, we did stabilize the table, and it is level. But yeah, if the stove is even the least bit
now,
off, it literally slid right off.
We have not had other types of stoves anytime recently
No,
to really compare.
I've only had a Coleman, and it was years and years ago.
The construction of it inside, it's a little flimsy, but it's lightweight, and because it's lightweight, it's not going to feel like a sturdy, heavy duty grill. It seems to work fine.
You want to put our? Is this got the water in it? Okay.
I filled
our kettle again.
Our kettle up with water.
Our pot.
And I'm going to put it on. It's on the lowest setting, and I'm going to see how long it takes to heat up.
And so we'll give it a time, and then we'll tell you what time, how the time went. And because I also wanted to see, because one of the issues that happened too was when we percolated the coffee. That was the other issue, was it was so hot. You really couldn't turn it down to a nice perk.
Right. So one of the ideas too is we want to be able to keep things warm. We want to keep things warm. We want to make coffee, keep things warm. And if we can't have a low enough setting to keep things warm, then we're not sure what to do. So hopefully this diffuser is going to help with that. And I've got the timer going, and we'll come back when it starts to boil and let you know how long it took.
Stand by. Okay, a little update here. Sorry about the jingling of our puppy dog here. Okay, so the ceramic plate, we started it out on low and had it on low about 8 minutes, and it didn't really seem to be hot enough. So Dave turned it up to, I think it's on the highest setting, correct?
Yes.
So he turned it up to the highest setting, and it has now been
17 minutes.
So 17 minutes on high.
On high.
But a total of so far 25 minutes, and it's just now starting to come to a boil, I think. If you want to check it out.
So you could see.
Oh yeah.
This is the part that came with it. And the idea is, for a small pot, you need something for it to sit on.
Otherwise, yep.
Because otherwise
it doesn't.
There's no place for it to sit.
And that's another thing I don't like about the stove.
As you can see, it's got little grooves for it to sit in, but it works.
It's really wobbly, and it warps every time you use it. And
then you can't.
Right.
I mean, it'll work.
But no, we already found it. That to me is not acceptable as far as safety goes.
So this is the part, and you could see.
And that's the one that came with it.
This is the one that came with it.
I mean, it warped pretty bad, and he had to fix it the first time, and then just heated it again and warped again. Now, what I'm finding, for any of you guys who can, probably empathize with both of us, is I don't want to wait 30 minutes for a cup of coffee in the morning. Yeah.
So we were hoping not to have to get, one of those turbo heater things just for coffee. But let us know what you think. Are we being ridiculous?
I mean, it just seems like 30.
It takes like 8 minutes for the coffee pot to heat up
right
water
in the house. Yeah.
In the house. Now let me show you the other thing.
Well, to brew.
Yeah, to make coffee.
Yeah, to make coffee.
So I'm gonna see if I could show you the angle I want to show you. One moment. Okay, so if you could see, the burner itself is crooked inside, and that just sort of happened naturally. Now probably I could get up underneath it and poke it back up, but that to me does not seem like a sign of a high quality workmanship design. And this one here is not as crooked, but slightly crooked. So you know, are we being ridiculous for this little portable deal? I don't know, but that's why we're testing these things out and seeing what we like and what we don't like. Now the benefit, of course, is it's got the 2 different cooktops that we could use.
Oh. You're talking about the
griddle and the grill
okay,
plate.
so there's like a griddle plate and then a grill plate. We showed them in when we did the other video about them. Okay, so I like them because they work really well. But that again, the stove was too hot for the griddle stuff too, and one has the grooves in it for like making bacon. So it was just too hard to regulate. It was way too hot. We can see now with this one.
Yeah.
But
now I've got this set up to a standard grill tank. And this is a low pressure valve. Now we could get adjustable valves, which I'm not sure if I want to do, but that would help also. I guess we could experiment with that. But even with the little 1-pound tanks that are commonly used for cookout grills like this, it was the same heat issue. So it's not that the regulator is the wrong regulator. So we're still experimenting, and that's why we're giving you an update.
But I still think that maybe with the cook, with the grate going all the way across, I wonder if that would eliminate these issues of the instability.
Yeah, and the other question we had was could we put a pot of water on the flat grill plate?
Oh, it's boiling now.
So, yeah,
but the other thing I did want to say, about the griddle plate, and the
here's our French press.
I do love that French press. But what I'll say is, if you are camping and you cook something on those griddles, you really need to have running water, or at least the ability to have hot soapy water, because they get very, very greasy. And if you're wanting, to not, if you're sparing on your water, I probably wouldn't use them because they're really hard to clean.
Yeah, and the other thing that we noticed using this too, and this has nothing to do with this particular unit, but there's a lot of grease splatter.
Oh yes, that was the other thing.
And using it like in your tent,
like
this
is our gazebo.
This is our gazebo. Grease got everywhere.
Yeah,
and when you're using the griddles, you can't cover it with, a cover or a splash guard cover, really. So we're trying to figure that out. So let us know. Let us know what you guys do.
Yeah, we found out.
Obviously, you don't want to cook food right next to your tent. So we're aware of that. But even just being able to have coffee, if it's raining out and we want to come under the gazebo and make coffee, obviously there's not going to be oil or butter or stuff like that. But
cooking breakfast or even dinner, we found definitely does attract.
Yeah, of course the ants
but
came in and loved the splatter, and
so we quickly cleaned up.
And our floor situation, which we love, but we'll comment about that also in another video, it is not conducive to cleaning up, grease splatter, because it's like a fine mesh material.
Well, I guess that's really all I really need to say on that is that also the little teeny tiny ants came up through it.
Yeah.
So anyway.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Lessons learned in time, and as we said, we're complete newbies here at camping, and this is why we're excited to practice in our own backyard. So we. So we can do a better job when we actually get to go camping, which we were hoping was going to be, I don't know, soon.
So it's been like 20 minutes waiting for water.
Well, it's boiling now, so now I want to make my French fries.
Not super happy about the wait, but
yeah, I'm not waiting that long in the morning for coffee.
We're pouring water in the French press, and we'll be back again to talk about some more things. And
remember, of course, everybody, the word journey begins and ends with the word joy. So joyous journeys to all of you. And thanks once again for hanging out with
and
us.
thanks for asking the questions. Cause
Yes, because that's what
good
prompted it.
ideas
So if
to
that, hopefully that helps
you more.
give you a little bit more information and help you make your decisions.
And one commenter said he had one ordered, I guess. So let's hear what he has to say.
Yes.
He or she, I forget.
He or she.
Thank you.
Bye, everybody.